Hello, I'm Patina Alcamahar, BSc Monday. Gender socialization is the process by which individuals are taught how to socially behave in accordance with their assigned gender. It occurs with the four major types: family, education, peers or groups, and mass media. So gender socialization is also the process by which we learn our culture's gender-related rules, norms, and expectations. In my analysis, gender socialization refers to the behavior of one gender to the other people. Socializing is good because in that way you can gain some friends, or even you can improve your thoughts about other people with their different behaviors. So, dira ni mo pwede may kumpara. Gender socialization naga-involve sa family, friends, schools, education, and also media. Dira nato ma-socialize ang lain-lain na tao despite sa ilang lain-lain na gender. So, I also read on the module about stereotyping. So, everyone is guilty on stereotyping. You, me, and everyone stereotype whether ginto yung umana or wala. So, paano di mo mabalaan na ang isa katawag na stereotype? So, example, kung bayi abi na siya, you think na ganan siya color pink, purple, kung bata man, ganan siya dolls or Barbie, and two boys, ganan siya color blue, green, o ganan siya mga Spider-Man, mga trucks, mga bata. So, muna siya ang stereotyping. So, gender socialization can be direct or indirect. So, children learns about gender stereotyping because of the society they are in. So, gender socialization is the tendency for boys and girls to be socialized differently. So, boys are raised to conform to the male gender role, and girls are raised to conform to the female gender role. So, ang gender refers to the sense of one person of who they are, kung sa na siya, feminine ba or masculine, as opposed to their physical characteristics. So, we must respect kung sa na siya, kung sa na gender ng usa ka tao, kay respect is good for everyone para sa hapsay na community.
Gender refers to the characteristic of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. These include norms, behaviors, and rules associated with being a woman, man, girl, or boy, as well as relationships with each other. As a social construct, gender varies from society to society, can change over time. In other words, gender is used to describe the characteristic of women and men that are socially constructed. While sex refers to those who are biologically determined, people are born female or male, but learn to be girls and boys who grow into women and men. Boys and girls, men and women are expected to society to play certain roles and behave in certain ways based on tradition and other beliefs. These behaviors are learned and shape the gender norms in the society.
Good morning, Miss. I'm Angelisa Mante, and I will discuss the Lesson 1, Gender Socialization. Today, I will explain what is gender socialization and my example about a gender socialization. Gender socialization is a process where an individual is impacted by agent of socialization thought their life stages, which consequently creates the gender roles we see in today's society. The only way to start working towards a gender equal world is by making changes towards the gender socialization process. I have the true example of socialization, interacting with friends and family, being told to obey rules, being rewarded for doing chores, and being taught how to behave in public places are examples of socialization that enable a person to function within his or her culture. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Miss. I'm Jeremy Icantado. Gender socialization is the process by which we learn our cultures, gender, related roles, norms, and expectations. The most common agent of gender socialization, in other words, the people who influence the process are parents, teachers, school, and the media. Through gender socialization, children begin to develop their own beliefs about gender and ultimately form their own gender identity.
Understanding gender socialization and how it affects the well-being of the human person is important in this study. There are two approaches, and these are gender transformative approach. This approach examines the root causes of gender inequality and on how to reshape the unequal power relations, because we all know that gender inequality is prone to discrimination. And human right approach, this approach empowering people and claim the rights of an individual. We have the right to be protected, respected, and fulfilling.
Talking about gender socialization. Gender socialization talks about the process of teaching people how to behave as men or women, wherein socialization includes the process of transforming norms, values, beliefs, and behaviors to future group members. In regards to gender socialization, the most common groups people join are the gender categories male and female. Even the categorical options of gender an individual may choose is socialized, such as social norms act against selecting a gender that is neither male or female. Thus, gender socialization is the process of educating and instructing potential men and women how to behave as members of that particular group.
A gender socialization in the family, in the educational institutions, in the religious institutions, in the government, and in the economic institutions. Gender socialization is the process by which we learn our culture's gender-related roles, norms, and expectations. The most common agents of gender socialization, in other words, the people who influence the process are parents, teachers, peers, and the media. Through gender socialization, children begin to develop their own beliefs about gender. So, ang gender socialization mao ang proseso diin kita makakaton sa atong mga kultura nga may kalabutan sa gender nga mga lagda o mga gilauman. Ang labing kasagaran nga ang mga ahente sa gender socialization sa laing pagkasulti ang mga tawo nga nag-impluwensya sa proseso mao ang mga ginikanan, magtutudlo, kaedad ug media pinaagi sa gender socialization. Ang mga bata nagsugod sa pagpalambo sa ilang kaugalingon, mga pagtuo pahitungod sa gender.
For me, gender socialization, the process of educating and instructing males and females as to the norms, behaviors, values, and beliefs of a group membership as men and women.
Good afternoon, Miss. My name is Ralph Arabalia from BSM 1B. Gender institutionalizations refers to the both objective and activities of organizations and the set of formal and informal rules followed under execution mechanism. Gender binary, also known as gender binarism. Binarism or ambiguously genderism is the classification of gender into two distinct opposite forms of masculine and feminine, whether by social, culture, and belief. Most cultures use a gender binary having two genders, like boys or men and girls for women. And for gender continuum is an umbrella concept accounting for components beyond how a person identifies.
Good afternoon, Miss. My discussion is Lesson 1, Module 2, Empowerment and Other Significant Outcomes of Well-Being During Adolescence and Later in Life. Argues a recently published paper enriches our understanding of gender socialization by bringing together theories from psychology, sociology, and biology. Even if you are not familiar with the concept of gender socialization, it is most likely that you have been influenced by it and in turn pass on your own beliefs about that constitute gender-appropriate attitudes and behavior to others. These examples are quite gender stereotypical but friends from the Netherlands and United Kingdom. Thank you.
Gender socialization is a lifelong process. The beliefs about gender that we acquire in childhood can affect us throughout our lives. Gender is a fundamental part of health and well-being. Gender socialization can impact the lives of men and women in many ways. So, my understanding about gender socialization is ever since in our childhood days, we are already learning about our culture, gender-related rules, norms, and our expectation, and by the influence of our parents, teachers, and the society. It's said that gender socialization is a lifelong process. It is a lifelong process because what we learn in our childhood days will affect us throughout our lives and our perspective in gender society. But our understanding are growing as we are too. Then there's gender stereotypes that in society they don't allow us or we do not have right to express our feelings, whether feelings or emotion, whether if you are a man or woman, especially man, it is not okay for them to cry or express their emotion because they are boys or man. They consider them that has a strong emotion or more like they do not have feelings, and that is not okay. That is why no matter what gender identity is, we have to respect each other and the individual because as societies that value a man or woman as equal is more safer and healthier. That's all. Thank you.
I am Chrysler Rose Picanoy from BSCM 1B, and for me, in socialization, we pick no gender. In this type of generation, we no longer acknowledge stereotypes mindset. Like, for example, men are expected to be strong. They don't need to cry, or we don't expect for them to cry because they are manly. And the girls are just inside the house and they don't work. But now we don't acknowledge that inequality. For me, in socialization, we need each other for growth, for development, and there's no need to expect from other person just to justify his or her gender. I truly embrace gender equality and rights and responsibility and treatment, both in the society and in our own household. Let us be the beginning of the start of embracing gender equality and in socialization. Thank you.